In light of the recent Maybe Happy Ending casting controversy, I wanted to share some of my perspective as an Asian American musical theater writer and composer. Note from future me editing this video, I don't care too much about the controversy itself. I just think that now is a good time to talk about Asian issues in theater. Growing up, I was a huge theater kid. I've acted since I was 8, and in almost every single production that I've been in, I've been the only Asian person. When I went to see professional shows, not only did I rarely ever see Asians, but when I did see Asians, they were always in Asian coded roles. So I'm talking like Eliza from Hamilton, Anne Boleyn from Six, and Eponine from Les Mis. The one exception that I can think of that I didn't even get to see personally was, I remember when I was a kid, Diana Huey was cast to play Ariel in The Little Mermaid, and then she got a ton of hate for it. So when I was a kid, I started to notice this pattern of Asian coded roles. But then I also noticed that it was acceptable to cast non-Asians in Asian coded roles, yet you never saw Asians cast outside of Asian coded roles. So sitting in the audience when I was in like middle school, I realized, one, there's no Asian roles unless it's like Miss Saigon, which is written by white people. 2, Asian actors are shoehorned into these Asian coded roles. And then 3, even in these Asian coded roles, they have to compete with people of any ethnicity. So basically, there's no roles for Asians. Speaking of the term any ethnicity, I just want to talk about what this term any ethnicity means. So first of all, when someone writes in their script that the character is any ethnicity, they are probably not going to cast an Asian actor. Second of all, no matter what race the actor is, the writer is always writing from their perspective, from their background. So if you have a white writer saying, oh, this character can be played by any ethnicity, yes, but you're writing it from your perspective as a white writer. So even if the character can be played by any actor, it's still writing a white experience. One example I like to use is Evan Hansen from Dear Evan Hansen. You can cast a Chinese actor to play Evan Hansen, but if Evan Hansen were written from the ground up as a Chinese American character, that would be a completely different story. This is something that I unfortunately have to think about as an Asian American writer. So my musical is about finding hope through music in the face of climate change. It's not about race, really. But I am Chinese American, so I write from a Chinese American experience. So since ethnicity and race isn't a huge part of the show, I could make my characters racially ambiguous or ethnically ambiguous, but I know that if I do that, Asian actors are never gonna have the opportunity to play those roles. And I've had multiple people tell me that having so many Chinese characters is going to be a major casting challenge. And people always say, oh, we don't have enough Asian actors to do this. Well, how do you get Asian actors? Kids need to be inspired, and to be inspired, they need to see themselves on stage. So someone needs to write Asian roles. One last thing I wanted to say about this, all Asians are underrepresented. South Asians are especially underrepresented. The only South Asians I have ever personally seen on stage were the 2 Indian servants to the bratty British girl in The Secret Garden. So yeah, huge yikes. We need to tell more Asian stories.